I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
They took everything Gordon Brewer had.
The guerrillas call it collateral damage.
Except his rage.
The assassin is back in Colombia.
But you cannot take the law into your own hands.
Thanks for your advice.
If it's a war they want.
Don't even look at those guys unless you can kill them.
They picked the wrong guy. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Collateral Damage. Rated R. Starts February 8th at a theater near you.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another request, this time for Broad Stipe. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request pretty much any other type of video or movie topic, review, whatever, you can request it directly to my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but so, thank you so much. But the review for today is Collateral Damage from 2002. Now, Collateral Damage, I've always enjoyed this film. I always thought one of Arnold's most underrated films. It was supposed to come out, but sadly it was the time when 9/11 happened, so they had to push it back, and they had to rework some of the marketing, some of the poster work, things of that nature. I do think it suffered because people, even in a escapism level, they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to deal with that subject matter. They didn't want to deal and think about it, let alone pay money to go to the theater to think about it. So I think that really hurt at the box office. Nowadays, I don't get why it has a low like 5.5 on IMDb. I think that's a bit too low. I think this is a very solid film. Arnold Schwarzenegger gives a great performance. You have people like John Turturro, John Leguizamo, Elias Koteas. Pretty good supporting cast there. I like the guy who plays the villain. I've seen him in other films too. He was in Live Free or Die Hard. He was in, I think, Virus. I think even Deep Rising as well. I could be wrong. But he's been in a lot of stuff. I want to get the actor's name. And it's directed by Andrew Davis, the guy who gave us The Fugitive and Above the Law, Code of Silence. But yeah, no one ever talks about this film. And yeah, it doesn't have Arnold, the old school Arnold, as in he's going up there shooting terrorists in the face, bah, 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 bah. But if you want that, you watch True Lies, which kind of already did that. If he did that, it'd just be a repeat of True Lies, which is a great movie. But that's not what this movie was trying to be. Cliff Curtis is the guy I was thinking of. Yeah, he was in Three Kings, Live Free or Die Hard. Want to see something real quick. Yeah, he was in Deep Rising, Virus, 6 Days, 7 Nights. Oh yeah, he was in The Maid. That's what I was thinking of. He was in The Maid with Jason Statham. And Dr. Sleep with Ewan McGregor. Good actor. But anytime I see him, I always think of his role as here, because he just fucking hated his character. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is a better version of Jackie Chan's The Foreigner. I reviewed The Foreigner. I was not a fan of The Foreigner. I thought one of the problems with that is Jackie Chan almost became a supporting character in that movie, and it was more about Pierce Brosnan and what was going on with him. I thought that was a mistake. And I compare that to this because they're both films about a father whose family is killed by a bombing because of a terrorist, and then this person has to find out who did it and get some revenge. Only Arnold is not a supporting character in this. It's not like they took Elias Koteas or some other and made them almost have more screen time than Arnold. That's kind of what they did with The Foreigner with Jackie Chan. They did not do it with this. And this one, it still felt it had more action. Definitely a more satisfying finale compared to The Foreigner. I mean, here you got, you're throwing the suitcase in the skylight, big explosion, well done explosion. I mean, Andrew Davis knew how to make action films at this point. Under Siege, Above the Law, The Fugitive. The guy was experienced in that. And it was great escapism entertainment. It was cool to see Arnold as a fireman. And you actually see him as a fireman at the beginning. Again, he goes to see his wife and kid. The explosion happens. When the explosions happen, they're well done. They're done practically. It was cool to see Elias Koteas there, Casey Jones from the original Ninja Turtles movie. He works with the CIA. The terrorists deal with Colombia, and you don't see the face, but it's the wolf who has his signature slap. And I didn't realize I stole that from this movie. You know, sometimes in my reviews I do like, I didn't realize I stole it from this movie. That's how the wolf does that clap. And then that is signature to something in the finale. And then Arnold wants revenge, of course. He's a father. He does a great performance. He gives a great performance. When he's on the news and some asshole's talking about, well, sorry, the wife and kid, they were collateral damage. He gets pissed. He's like, so you want collateral damage? I'll do fucking collateral damage. What's the place up? And this is deep. It's not realistic. How Arnold, a fireman, gets from the U.S. to Colombia, I don't know. How he gets there safely, pretty much, I don't know. This is Arnold, the Austrian oak. Maybe people don't want to fuck with him, at least for a bit. And it's not wall-to-wall action, I'll give you that. But I thought it was well directed, it went at a good pace, it had a nice supporting cast surrounding Arnold. Arnold himself was great, and it had some decent set pieces. You know, punching a guy, going down the rapids, getting put in jail, mean John Turturro, who's a fun character. I'm an illegal alien. And then John Turturro jokes, yeah, you green nose, you want to steal all of our jobs. Even something as simple as when a riot breaks out, there's fire, and it's real fire, and your real star in there. That might not seem much, but nowadays it just be all computer. One thing leads to another, leads to John Leguizamo, who wants to do music in the U.S., and Arnold's bullshit going, oh yeah, you're fantastic. You'll be a big hit. I can't do an Arnold impression. And he fucks up the drug fields. I like some of the dialogue. I like Cliff Curtis as the villain. He's definitely a guy you just love to hate. And when Arnold's talking about him, he's like, that smile I remember just before you killed them. You're going to pay for that. And then the Cliff Curtis goes, well, you want to kill me? You know, what's the difference between you and me? The difference is, I'm just going to kill you. I love that kind of shit. I fucking love that kind of shit. And this is more like an action thriller where you're not going to have tons of gunfights of Arnold. That's not what he's playing. He's playing a fireman. You're not going to have tons of... For what kind of movie it was trying to be, I thought it did it very well. the locations, the way it was shot. You tell there was a budget behind it. Again, the supporting cast did their jobs well. I remember the first time I saw this, it was on DVD. I never got a chance to see it in the theater. I picked up the DVD. It was a Clipper, one of those cardboard Warner Brothers Clipper DVDs. And the first time I saw this, I was tricked. I was surprised by what happened, which, spoiler alert, this lady and her kid who's with Cliff Curtis, but then you think they're with the good guys. She's leaving, and when Arnold's figuring out, I went, oh, that's right. And Arnold realizes she was the one in the hood doing that. Till she sees her do that to her kid, that slapped that. And the first time I saw this, now granted it was 2002, so I'm not that smart nowadays, but I was even dumber back then, so I didn't put two and two together, but it did get me, and I liked that. I thought it was exciting where you get the skylight, fills a suitcase, boom, big explosion, well done practical explosion, and it was satisfying when he was dealing with the bad guys where he locks them down in the tunnels and he's hidden the axe to get all the pipes so all the gas is going, and this big explosion. Granted, when Arnold is sliding into the staircase with the fire behind him, it's effects that don't hold up the best. But it's not the entire scene. The stuff before and after that looked fairly good, but that one bit's like, pretty shaky with the effects. It's pretty shaky, but I'll let it go. I'll forgive it. And just to take the fucking bitch and throw her ass, fry her ass, and then the other guy, so when you go kill me, now, and throws the fucking axe right into the bad guy's chest. Funny, I reviewed a film a few weeks ago called Fire with Fire. I think even that review I said that Collateral Damage, I don't mind that film, but Collateral Damage did it better. And it did, because he's a fireman, just throwing that axe right into the motherfucker's chest. That was satisfying. And as for me, I didn't go into it expecting True Lies or Eraser or it was Arnold doing something different. Arnold doing something off the beaten path. I liked when Arnold was doing that at this time, because I love End of Days. End of Days, I saw in the theater, one of my all-time favorite Arnold films. The 6th Day is okay, but I think this is better. And I never really got the hate for it. I thought, would I have liked some more action? Sure, of course. I would like some more action. Maybe a few more scenes. Maybe have Arnold utilize some fireman tactics. Which he did a little bit, like he created something to blow up the drug labs. But maybe a few more, and maybe make traps. Perhaps a scene or two of him making traps for bad guys to fall upon. Trap some people, create a fire because of his knowledge of it. But overall, I would not have minded more action either. Arnold gave a good performance. Cliff Curtis was a memorable bad guy. I liked seeing people like John Turturro and Leguizamo and Elias Koteas and such in there. I remember the bit at the end surprised me. Some lines of dialogue I enjoyed. The action pieces, to be fair, the most notable was the end, which if you don't have one notable should be the ending. But I get that some people may be disappointed because they wanted more big, huge action set pieces of Arnold kicking ass. But I don't know, because I accepted the fact that okay, he's playing a fireman at the beginning, it kept my interest, didn't seem boring to me, and there's enough he's fighting the guy and the guy gets blown up by a mine, or this other stuff I mentioned. It just didn't bother me as much as other people. I know critics and such felt this was dull and nothing, average. I've seen a lot of average films. I don't think this is even as bad as an average movie. I just always quite enjoyed Collateral Damage. And again, I do put it over The Foreigner with Jackie Chan easily. To me, this is how you do that right. Satisfying conclusion. But yeah, I always liked Collateral Damage. I thought Andrew Davis did a good job directing it. He's a very, at this time, very solid director. And I don't think he made too many films after this, sad to say. Go figure. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Collateral Damage. Bit of an underrated Arnold film, I would say. Because I didn't realize that he had like a 5.5. I'm like, what? It's not that bad. So yeah, I think it's an underrated Schwarzenegger film. Doesn't get a lot of respect. I think it deserves a bit more. It was a nice showcase for Arnold's acting. To play a grieving father, and the revenge was satisfying. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.